Hey, hello there. Hello there, as Obi-Wan would say. Back in the good old days of the Old Republic. So, get rid of that then. So yes, running around as a loon as per normal. Purely because lost track of time and yeah, there's a lot to be going on and a lot to be moving around, such as Titans. Now, I'm sure some of you have obviously seen pictures of these fellas. So here's obviously a headpiece of my Warlord Titan, and bring that up closer for you. So it focuses. Please focus. No focus? No. Oh, there you go. So you can see the screens, a few of the details. I was sort of getting there with the pipes. I wanted to give it sort of like a, I'd imagine what like a submarine would look like. You know, very plain walls, as the adornment very basic, very functional, and the princeps Sonoris sitting in his command throne, and the two moderati, the helmsman and the steersman, at the front there. So yeah, with this head, there's a few extra details I want to be doing with that, and obviously a little radar picking up some targets. But yeah, this head is the Mars Beta head that is exclusive to. Oh, bugger! Some touch-ups definitely needed. This is exclusive to Warhammer World, so you can only pick them up from the shop there. Need that, he says. So it's a bit hard to actually fully appreciate the size of this thing, but yeah, this is the main part of the Warlord, where it's very weighty, as you can imagine from a model of this size. I had an accident with this when I was first trying to get it together to take photographs, and I'd set it up in a position, and then I was faffing around a little bit, and my phone rang. I went to answer it and was having a chat, and then completely forgot I'd actually put this onto the floor, and as I've gone walking back round to where I'd arranged it, walked straight into it and gave it a good kicking. So it got sort of flown across the floor. Plates on this side came off. There's damage, you can just about see on there where that hit table as that's flown off. Obviously I've managed to repair the majority of it. Now there's a few cracks here and there, but I say some super glue, some care and attention, and yeah, it got back to what it should be, which was handy, because we don't want to be able to sort of get these models and then pulverize them. Some of these bits got broken off from the back of the las blaster, so they got glued back into position. But yeah, it was a horrifying moment, to say the least, because it's the last thing you kind of expect to be doing when you're meant to be taking photographs of said model. So what I'll actually do, I'll pull this out of the way for a second, so you can see it on this screen. Leggies. And I'll take the camera off in a moment, and then you can actually have a little guided tour around the beast. Because what I'll also do is put them together for you. Although saying that, I'm missing a part which I've just discovered. So, because what I normally do, where I didn't use magnets on the I didn't use magnets to just drill through, and these slot into there, and obviously hold the arm in place. But I've only got the one, and the other one must be in the box still. So I'll put one weapon on for the time being. Put the head back into place. Get the las blasters back on top where they belong. I found the other piece, so that's fine. So I've got both of them. We've got the Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator. If this camera ever decides to actually focus, there you go. Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator. The sheen on that, the coils, I used a Tamiya Titan Gold, funnily enough, and once I painted it on there, it really made it hard to actually focus upon the coils. So I had to sort of like wash over it as well, but in a good way. So it's very super metallic, but it just looks the part. And obviously with the scorching there from where this thing has fired and blown stuff apart, and obviously the toning down with the sort of galvanizing of the metals on there as well. But as I say, mostly it's going to be a case of just doing a bit of touching up here and there with this, because next Saturday is the Titan Walk for the Titans Owners Club, and Templar's Vengeance, or Vindicta Templi, is a high Gothic name, will be present. So you can just see some damage there. That's where it obviously got damaged when I kicked it. So where all the guys have been busily painting, building, like some guys are actually in the process of still building Titans. Others have built and are painting their Titans. If that gets in there, right, that's in, so that's locked in. And so everybody knows that the pressure is on to get your models finished. So I'm not sure if I've shown this on here, but this is the infamous volcano cannon. So again, cat hair. This is been sort of like given a good going over recently anyway, where I was just finishing off parts. Unfortunately with decals, you can't really use a lot of AT ones with these, they're not quite big enough. So I just got that looking very Ignatum. Camera stay in place please as I do this, because this is the tricky part, because what I should have done with the gun shield is actually magnetize it, because trying to get the pin into place is difficult to say the least. So I have to kind of feed it through first, then insert weapon, and then feed it back, because said gun shield, just see it there, actually stops the pin from coming out. So that's, and then I've magnetized those parts so that just sticks. Says, what's it? No, that's the right one. So there you go. So the arm shield ahead. So if I move that back, so you see him in all his glory. These are actually made for us by Matt Wingrove of the Titans Owners Club in preparation for the last walk. I used a brass rod, obviously some chain. The original bits broke off, so I've had to put some new bits. So these need painting over as well. But as you can see, he's a mighty, mighty beast. And the head of my mana pools for the event. But yes, he's quite humongous, to say the least. So let's get back there. And oh, hello Felix, dun dun dun, as you always likes to go. The Legio walks. Where's the Quake? Well, the problem is with the Quake cannons, Felix, is that they're out of stock. AT ones were in stock, but the big guys, I wasn't lucky to get hold of one. However, normally he has this little thing. So, transferring camera again. So the Ariok Power Claw with the Vulcan Mega Bolter, which obviously in AT doesn't have, you can't shoot with it in AT, but the explanation they give for the Vulcan Mega Bolters is that when this thing is gouging your guts out of your Titan, these are just pummeling the wound with mass reactives to do even more damage onto the insides, delicate internals or anything. You know, you might even catch a fuel line or anything like that, which is all going to add to the fun of blowing you up sooner rather than later. But yeah, so last time I used this because my dream configuration was the Fist, the Sun Fury and Las Blasters on the top. So I got them, but then from last time there was a bit of an issue of a traffic jam of the Titans being able to get out and to shoot things, and I got blocked off, and my range wasn't the greatest with the shorter range stuff. The Las Blasters could hit, but obviously corridor you can't do much with. So I got cut up by another Princeps and his Titans, so I couldn't advance to get into range. So I actually ended up in the first big game we done. Him and Iracundus went off to the left flank and stopped some knights from breaking through and flanking us and getting into close combat. The Las Blasters, you know, just absolutely annihilated the knights who were just out range of the size. So he got to fire them, and then the Sun Fury just finished off the last couple. So it killed 5 knights in that particular walk. The walk the next day, which was a smaller combat scenario, it didn't kill anything. Basically, the game was set up before I actually turned up because I got my times wrong. So as I turned up, everyone's ready to go pretty much, and my colleagues had already agreed to get up close and hopefully get into close combat against some Mortis and Tempestus engines. And he took the brunt of it pretty much, because he was standing there in front of another Warlord and a Reaver who, well, Iracunda's headbutted, basically. But yeah, it was not a good walk for it last time. Hopefully this time he'll get some Titan kills. Most of my Titan kills, actually, because I got quite a few Titan kills that walk, were from my Warhounds that went around and reaped a deadly tally. One of the Warhounds actually got, I believe, 6 kills? 6/9 kills. Well, yeah. 6 direct, 3 indirect. So it done quite well. So it wasn't too bad. But yeah, they absolutely cut a path of devastation, running around and flanking and shooting and destroying, which is always good. Which is always what we want to do. How goes today, even without the quakes? Yes, the day is going okay. Long day at work, shorter day here, evening, and so just trying to see what I need to do to address this little bad boy. So as I said, I'm not getting as much time as I like with painting and hobby recently, so getting what I can done is always good. So this is basically touching up damage, or I say touching up, clean up damage, making sure it's nice and clean and presentable. But how are you guys anyway? Are you all alright? That's the main thing. Need some Abaddon. I really think you should be able to fire the Vulcans as a ranged weapon as well. See, that's the thing. What they did with the Power Claw is that they gave it extra a +1 because of the Vulcans. So because they've got the Vulcans there, you get +2 to hit with a Power Claw. So because normally a Warlord's close combat is 5+, I believe, but with the Power Claw it brings it down to 3+, and that's purely because of the Vulcans. So that was their thinking, because they didn't want to sort of add an extra weapon system onto there, and the whole premise is that it is there to just reap even more damage upon an enemy with its sustained fire. And yeah, so that was the thing for it, basically, which I can understand what they were aiming to do and why. Because if you think about it, you know, trying to aim a fist with a Titan is going to be a very slow process, because it's going to be at different positions, different angles. So lifting up your arm to aim, it's going to take time, whereas your guns are already in a fixed sort of position for shooting. So, you know, with that in mind, it's just the case of pulling said trigger. So I'm putting the Abaddon Black down because I'm going to have to go over certain parts of this with the Retributor Gold. Obviously when I went over it before it was black, so that will make it a little bit easier to blend the gold once I do that. I'm also going to be doing... No, that's not what I want. That's still not what I want. Where's what I go for? Hey, Red Razor, how are you? Welcome. I'm glad you could make it, dude. You're just dropping in and say hi? More than welcome. So it's just doing extra details, because when you're not sort of doing Titan walks, these guys do get sort of left by the wayside, because unless you're going to go like regularly to like Horus Heresy gaming events and you can field one of these. You know, it's all about the Titan walks really. So a lot of the other guys have done such great work with their Titans, and they're looking super awesome. So it would be wrong for me not to address little bits I may have left, you know, where I focused on the main parts before. It's a case of now doing that little bit extra to make him look a little bit better, because, you know, he's the head of my pack. He is the big boy. Hey Mecha Shiva, welcome. If it could be fired as a ranged weapon, there's no trade-off for using the power claw. From a game balance standpoint, it's hard to work. Yeah, as I say, I like the idea that they've addressed it with AT anyway. They've addressed it by, as I said, giving a bonus to your close combat skill for using said power claw, and I can accept that. I think that's actually quite an interesting, because obviously you're going in there, you're ripping the crap out of something, so it gives you a bonus, so it's easier for you to hit, because you want this thing to hit. If anything, you definitely want this one to hit. So I accept that sort of explanation for it in AT, because obviously I don't think, did the Warlord have anything? Did it just have a power fist as well? I can't remember. Because if you saw the power, like a power fist, if it was just a straightforward power fist on it, it doesn't get the +2 to hit. So I cannot confirm or deny. But yeah, so I'd rather have the ability to hit something, especially with something as devastating as that, and forego having, you know, a Vulcan Megabolt as shooting, because you want to take full advantage of the Warlord's mass when blowing the crap out of something, or tearing a new one. Like the first time I used a Warlord with a power claw, it just absolutely ripped through and gutted a Reaver Titan. Just took it out, because it moved its full sort of move, boosted moves, like 6 inches. So you got another 2 attacks with it, and when you're doing like strength 10, because it's just size, and you're hitting on a 3+, oh, it was messy. And yeah, you just literally just tore the guts out of this Reaver Titan and killed it. Well, it was laid low, something like that. Yeah, oh yeah, you had the chain. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the old chain fist on the Reaver Titan. So the one thing they haven't brought out, which is mentioned in the Heresy, is the Saturnine las cutter, because they also had the las cutter in AT-88, which was like a weird sort of 3-barreled type short-range las weaponage. But they haven't brought that out. They had the stats for it in was it book 5 when Warlords turned up. So that would have been quite nice. And I wonder why they haven't done it for AT either. Because they are sort of taking weapons from the Heresy Titans, obviously, and the old lore from AT-88. So you would have thought, hopefully, they get around to this. We've got Volkites now, which obviously Volkites on Warlords would be actually pretty nicely, much like the macro cannon. I would like to get probably a macro cannon and a quake cannon for this, because you like to have options. You know, the volcano cannon is, you know, it's the mainstay of any sort of Titan, really, especially the Bellicosa. just to absolutely sort of blow the snot out of whatever's in front of it, really. But it's your reactor that you got to be careful of, because you don't want to be overheating too often, because that in itself is not fun. Hey, Engine Phil. Hello, mate. I've messaged you the other day just to check how you were, and you haven't replied back. Although it was on Messenger, and I know you don't go on that often. I was wondering what was happening to you, if you were still alive. So, yeah, I'm glad you are. Check your messages. You've forgotten about the lads cutter. They all said that, yeah. Well, I did find it, like, initially, I think like a lot of people, when they brought out the new Warlord, it was like, oh, that's quite a new looking shape, design, because everyone remembers the Beetlebacks. And obviously the Armageddon pattern, or the Lucius pattern ones with the square shoulder pads. But they brought us this guy. And if you ever get the chance to actually build one, despite the size, it's actually a really good kit to assemble, which I think Phil will agree, because the instructions booklet it comes with is just like spot on. Obviously, you've got to do a bit of work to reinforce like the legs and stuff, because as I said, when I kicked this thing over, or buckled one of its legs, it basically come out of the pins were showing, and so it was a case of trying to readjust and put them back into the proper position. Obviously, after the tears and anguish had stopped, because it was horrifying. It is one of those you can imagine, like when you drop a model, you just like finished putting the last bit of detail on, and you drop it, and you just like time slows, and just go, oh my god! And yes, that happened, and it's magnified a lot. So yeah, as I said, parts of the plates were broken off. I said bits of the guns which I couldn't find. The bits I could find, I glued back onto position and obviously repainted and stuff. But the bit there was, as I said, like the chip on one of the las blasters. Yeah, could never find that little bit. So that is lost for all eternity. It'll probably turn up one day. But yeah, it was such a horrifying experience. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Although saying that, there was a story I picked up from Paul Rudge when he was talking about the first Warlord Titans that they made for Forge World. And he basically built and painted the Mortis one. And as they were trying to pack it away from getting it out and showing off it somewhere, Alan Bly was helping out, because Alan Bly was a decent guy like that, and he wanted to help out. But he didn't realise it was magnetized for some reason. It didn't come into his head that somebody would actually magnetize one of these. And so as he's picked it up, it's fallen apart because he's just like hoik, and it's just like apparently he was juggling the top section, so like trying to maintain it. Luckily he did, and the damage again was superficial, but he's like, I didn't know it came apart. Oh my god, sort of thing. So that was just like a comical moment, which luckily didn't have too much of a sad ending to, in regards of destroying said, because he was picking it up off of a table. But yeah, because imagine if he dropped that from that height as well, a good sort of 4 or 5 foot drop. Yeah, because that was in the gaming hall, I believe, at Warhammer World. Jeez. No, my one's freestanding. Some people do bases. I tried doing a base for one of my warhounds because I cocked up. I'd angled the legs for the feet to be in a certain stance, and then I glued the wrong leg to the wrong side. So I'll show you that in a little while, because I'll actually get the warhounds out, because they're here as well. And because of that, it still stood, but it was very unsturdy. So I have actually had to sort of glue like a cube and a heel to it to so it can actually stand. But it's a very bad posture, because the problem is where I used certain compounds for gluing the legs, and then sort of like it was the super glue, and I used the bicarbonate of soda technique. So it's like cement, concrete, and that thing's glued. I would have to literally just hack it off to try and do it, but then I'm going to be damaging. It's not going to look right. So I've left it as is, which is a shame, because it's got a funny stance, but I say it's still usable and playable, and yeah, that's the main thing. So you can actually get on with things. So, hello, Adam. See you sneaking there. Phil's just sent me a picture, and it's of a little Metallica warhound of his, which has got a base. Yeah, I tried doing using like a 12 inch sort of like cutting disc, and I started with it, and because at the time when I was trying to do this, bases weren't my thing at all. Yeah, I just did, mate. I just saw it. It's very cool. But yeah, I could work on it, but say I'm not going to be able to do anything this week, and it'd be odd having one warhound without a base and one with a base. So I'm not going to even entertain trying to do that. It's just too much work. Too much work, in my opinion. Though, like a few of my friends, like Rob, who normally jumps in here, and my other friend Simon Winters, do some really excellent sort of scenic bases for their Titans. You know, they're phenomenal, and they are like little dioramas that they have on their bases. No, that's not an AT, 8mm Titan. So there you go, little flying. So this is the El Grande Big Boy. So the breeze gently flapping the kill banner underneath. But yeah, this is El Guapo. Or Vindicta Templi, aka Templar's Vengeance. So as I say, this is where I've been doing some tidying up on this guy. And as I say, it's just doing some extra added details for the actual model, because as I said, with seeing all these other nicely painted Titans next weekend. So yeah, next weekend I won't be doing a hobby hangout. I am actually thinking about maybe doing something from the actual game itself. Obviously I need to see if I can get permission, if that's allowed, and just do like a stream during like some of the turns or something, so people can see what happens at these games and just see some awesome Titans. But yeah, it's whether or not I can get permission from the powers that be. So, obviously, if I can, I will be posting up updates, and so people will know, and obviously the Discord as well, so everybody is informed. So here I'm going over this with some Nasdreg yellow over the metal. Again, just to give it a differential look to the rest here, because obviously you want it to look a little bit stand out from the superstructure. So I'll go over that with some Agrex as well, just to give it some more shade. It's all about shade, baby. Either sides. But yeah, it's just picking out these little bits of detail here and there just to give it a little bit more depth and character. And I say I paint quickly, but I do sort of miss out on certain bits. And obviously, as was said earlier on, is a Titan ever truly finished? And the answer is no, because you'll always go back to it again at some point. But so using contrast just to pick out these little bits, just sort of like banding, and so it just makes it look even a little bit more impressive. Because when you do, say, there are painters out there that just like Phil is one person. Like if you check out Engine Phil on his Instagram and Twitter, he's got some amazing looking Titans on there, which he has spent absolute lifetime on getting done, but they are absolutely top notch, and he's definitely worth a little follow. He's definitely under Engine Feel on Instagram anyway, so totally worth it. Woo! Head falls off, breaks everything, great. But you can see how that sort of metal, the yellow sort of gives the metal another sort of dimension, and it differentiates a little bit from the yellow of the head. But that's the beauty of contrasts. I'm just checking out on something. What's going on here? Walked into another GW store today, and 2 out of 2 stores with no AT products. Yeah, no, that's one thing that's sort of puzzled me. Is like, I'm sure that they had Blood Bowl in Games Workshop stores, but AT didn't. I don't seem to remember it having much of an appearance in stores as a stock item, at least, anyway. So you're more likely to find them in your sort of your friendly local gaming store, where you can just obviously just walk in and pick them up. But yeah, it's always bemused me why they didn't do that. Why don't they have a little space for AT? Like the specialist games, it helps them out at the end of the day because it sells more models. Because who doesn't want to have a Titan? Shiva, yeah, I was thinking about the Zombie Titans from Mortis. Just read the Zombie Titan chapter in Mortis. It was amazing. Yeah, that would be fantastically. No worries, and no problem, Phil. My pleasure. I think that you're quite a good painter. Lousy at communicating via messenger. But yeah, no, I'll just say I've messaged you a couple of days just to make sure if you was all right and how you were feeling, because Engine Phil has had the COVID recently, so he's still in recovery. He's not 100%, bless him. It's not good, but he's on the other side of it at least. That's the main thing. Right, so head. I did do that. So Agrex. No, he probably is, to be honest. And so he's got Titans galore to get done for the walk. So yeah, he's got to get cracking with everything. He's got a few Titans, that boy has. But I say his Warlord. If you see the Titan Owners Club advert for this year's walk, his Titan is the model, showing it all off, showing its stuff, because it's a really well painted model. But as I say, there are so many excellent modelers, hobbyists that are also going. So when pictures start circulating on social media next week, and you're going to see some amazing stuff, because obviously everyone that's going to the walk have been involved in a sort of a hobby, like a Titan walk chat group, and obviously sharing their progress on that. And it's just really, inspiring to see such great work that's going into all these models. So there's like literally some people are like last minute sort of just trying to crack on through. I'm really hoping that Rob Walters does get his Warlord done in time, because his Solaria are pretty amazing as they are, but having a Warlord to sort of head them off as well, like with the detail that he puts into his models, would just be fantastic to see on the battlefield. And here's Rob. Well, no, as I say, I've been inspired by all you guys to do some work, and I actually found that there was a few bits of like chipping on the head, so I've been dealing with that and just adding some extra details to the look. But yeah, so that's you've probably seen it loads of times, but got the little fella out, so weapons in place. But I'm just literally just doing detail work just to get them up to par with your stuff. like you, Phil, like Martin with him cracking through his Tempesta stuff. Rob C as well. Pete, you're all busy boys. I've got a lot to catch up with. Yeah, didn't you get the beat ahead with your one? He did feel having a wave. Oh right, yeah. So because I'm busy at work, I don't get that often to sort of jump into the chat groups to find out what's going on. So I just see loads of pictures coming through on my phone, which I then delete because it's taking up too much space. But yeah, it's like everyone is making strides, and that's the thing, is the incentive to get your A game on and get your models ready. And oh yeah, so actually here we go. Let's do this. Woo! I've got myself a T-shirt made. So that's the paint over that Artist Empire did a few weeks back of my Ignatum engines. There's Dead Mortis Warhound out there underneath the foot. So I got this made up. I also got another one made up as well. On the back it has Legio Ignatum, so if I just toss it. There you go. So just so everyone can see who I am from behind. Well, it's not hard to recognise who I am anyway, but yeah, it's yeah, I just thought, I saw some of you guys had made shirts and stuff, so I thought, oh, I'll get myself something as well. So yeah, wanted to join in the fun. No, sorry, just delay on my chat here, so just seeing what I was doing. But yeah, I got another one made up with Vindicta Templi on the front, which was the first bit of paint over work that Artist Empire did for us back in February. So I got that on there, but that's on a black t-shirt, and obviously Legio Ignatum on the back. So that's the one I'll be wearing for the event, because it's black and Legio Ignatum wear black, which was annoying because obviously I painted him in red. I don't think I'm going to change that because, yeah, I'm just going to leave him as he is, and with the Moderati as well, because they're all stuck in there. They're all happy. So he's staying in a red battle dress for the time being. Yeah. But yes, that's what I'll need now. There's some Basilicanum. Where are you? There you are. So Basilicanum, because I use this now instead of the Tamiya Smoke. So again, just put that into these sort of areas just to give them a little bit more dirtiness. You know, purification of the air. So yeah, I'd just say with all the work everyone has been doing, I've probably had the least amount to do, really. But you know, so you know, I really can't wait to see all these engines. I believe there is 100 Titans going to be present next weekend. I'm only there for the Saturday, however. So it'll still be fun. That's all that matters, really. Have fun, roll some dice, blow up Titans. Alright, you go have your tea. See you in a bit, mate. I was about to say something there, but the tea completely threw me. Right. So what we got here? Right. Let's do some little detailing. Go with the Nasdreg again, because that's the thing with this stuff, it goes over silver really well, so but it just works. It's really, really awesome stuff. Oh, whew. Yeah, that almost sent that flying. Whoopsie doodle. Sounds just glorious. Yes, yeah, I hope so. I've been working on programming a dev board for a device that's just released, and busy with that. Yeah, no, say with program development and stuff like that, you've got so much to put into those sort of things. Time just sort of just creeps away from you, doesn't it? You know, you're hitting problems and trying to resolve them as quickly as possible, so you can actually move on to the next phase. I've got quite a few friends that are programmers, so you know they go off the grid every now and again when they've got deadlines coming up, because obviously they've got to focus on that more than anything than just communicating or even eating. Just got a plasma annihilator as well. Had to cancel my Quake cannon. Ford World messing around too much, so cancelled the order. Yeah, no, that's a shame. As I say, I was asked earlier on about where was the Quake cannon, but yeah, it's just getting hold of them. They're just like, you know, as rare as rocking horse poo at present, because obviously trying to get these things out of production line so we can build them and then paint them for our Titans. That's the hard part in the current climate. But as I say, if you've got yourself a plasma annihilator, yeah, it's great. I literally got the plasma annihilator purely so I can say Sun Fury plasma annihilator. Just love the name. It just rolls off the tongue, and you have to sort of give it the full welly. Whenever you're speaking about it, you have to give it its full title of Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator. It is the way. But yeah, just doing little details like this, you know, like these like rivets and bandings, just makes them stand out. It just gives, you can just see it there, it just pops quite nicely. And just adds extra dimension to your model. And so contrast just goes on so well as well. Yeah, let's do that as well. This little one, the non-studded one, just to again just make it stand out from the rest of the bits there. Swaps over. Got the prototype on its way, but I think I've made a mistake with the footprint. Well, fingers crossed that you haven't, mate. That's the thing with this. It's so bloody big as well. It's just like over a foot. Foot of Sun Fury Death Ray Cannon. I stuck the rear door of the Warlord. Sounds silly, but I wanted to put a pattern on it which is not hazard stripes. Don't talk to me about hazard stripes. I live for the hazard stripes. Definitely want to, obviously, looking forward to seeing your Titans at the walk, mate. Hopefully get some nice photographs taken as well. And try and get some good ones with some interesting angles. But it's all about the angles. You never know who might be watching and seeing what's going on. I do far too much detail, so many cables all over the body. Seems engine seers in the far future have never heard of cable management. Yeah. Would you have like some cable ties just to lock them all together so they're not swinging all over the place? Just don't care. You know, we'll just burn some incense, that'll do. No, there's no one there. Right. Where's some metallic, maybe some brass or something, just to go around some parts there. What's that? Sadly, there'll be one less engine next weekend. I'm not going to get my Lucius finished. Ah, dude. So far the door is red, Adam. How about a prayer to the machine god and the locks and seals of the door work? Hey, Bruce. Hello. Evening. Yeah, I'm doing fine. We are working on a slightly bigger model than usual. So Vindicta Templi, which is Templar's Vengeance. Yeah, just getting on with painting it, or just doing like detailing basically, because after seeing all the glorious engines that some of the other guys that have been doing with their models, I feel a little bit sort of like lax in my dedication to the machine gun. So I'm definitely trying to change my approach and do a little bit of extra detailing to make it look a little bit better. You know, I want it to blend in with all the cool cats. Just want it to look good. How are you, man? Are you doing hobby tonight? And is everybody doing hobby tonight? If you are, what you're doing, let us know. Also, I've got to ask if you don't mind liking, subscribing, and all that jazz, because it does help with the old algorithms, as we all do. But I know I'm bad at that. I actually went through the other day. I was going through a load of the Artist Empire stuff that I've been on and liking them, because yeah, it doesn't cost anything, and it does help out a smidge, so it's always appreciated. I just want to be loved. Yes, but yeah, from when the first time I saw this beast, I knew that I had to have a Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator, just because for the wonderful things it does. What the hell have you been feeding that thing? Yeah, lots of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Paint some Black Templars. Oh, cool. Yeah, my Black Templars are definitely awaiting that new one, the Emperor's Champion. Because I always wonder, because I've got obviously the original Emperor's Champion, or one of the old Emperor's Champions, the Small Marine, and I had been using that in games, and it just seems odd having this like all these Primaris running around, and then you got this little dude who's in charge of them. It's just like, come follow me, but you're so tiny. But yeah, so I'm glad that they've actually got round to doing a model for the Emperor's Champion in Primaris. Right. Again. Laps on your dedication to the machine god, says the guy with 100 and watt painted titans. 101 of the small ones. 4 of the big ones. I worship the machine god in other ways, obviously. So yeah, again, Nasdreg, just to go over these coils within the actual construct. You can see there. So before and after. And you know, I like having, like, normally I would, like on my AT weapon systems, I actually go over the guns in Seraphim Sepia, because I just like the look of it, sort of like an antiquing of the metal, if you know what I mean. So it looks older, but it also differentiates it from the superstructure, so it's not all the same. I just really like how it comes out and looks. But this Nasdreg does exactly the same thing. Get a brush in there. That's the one thing about this. Oh, you come this end. Like so. I'm not big on doing painting models in parts and then assembling. Like Mark Bedford always has said this as well in like seminars, where yeah, I just want to get the model and build it, and then I worry about it. So I'm of the Mark Bedford school of thought when it comes to building and painting Titans. Build them and then sort it out. But yeah, so can't quite see that in there, but yeah, so it's copperizing, if that's a word, these little electromagnetic coils which help in the creation of the plasma blast. Taking a wee pause in my Titanicus before I commence on the Warlord work. I picked up the Artisan's Evolved Side Titan head and a quick throw of paint on it the other night. Cool. Yeah, because you're doing Metallica as well, aren't you? So Phil, you probably know Phil from the Legio Metallica group on Facebook. So he's here, my little buddy from down the road, whose dog is my nemesis, along with Gary Church, who's my other nemesis. Yeah, the Templars have gotten me excited for Marines again. Yeah, and I say it's nice to have the models. I'm not sure, because I'm just so in with these guys, with Titans, full stop. And you know, I can only play so many games. Obviously, at the moment, I'm playing no games, but normally, what free time I do get, I don't get to play much, and I do prefer playing AT overall. But yes, what are those stupid 8-inch oversized Space Marines? Oh no, the yeah, because a guy I know on Twitter, Gonders, he's painted a Red Scorpions, one of those big sort of McKellen or whatever they are, Space Marines. He's done, as I said, a Red Scorpions one, which looks fantastic. And then to top it off, he's done a Legion of the Damned one, which is just freaking amazing. So yeah, on Twitter, Gonders, Gonders. He's an amazing painter. He's my official Northern Sphere. I'm the Southern Sphere. It's something we started off when I first got onto Twitter, because we're at opposite ends of the country. We're diagonally opposite or something like that. So we just came up with some crazy ass thing, and we've been sticking to it ever since, really. Yes. So galactic jarhead Barbies then. Yeah. Where's a Bruce? But way worse. They don't sell them with crayons. Oh, McFarlane, that's it, yeah. McFarlane. But yeah, no, they do. I actually thought about getting one. Because after seeing what other people can do with them and paint them up and how awesome they look, I just thought, ooh, it would be nice, like a little piece just to have standing somewhere on display, like painting up in your favourite chapter in Primaris armour, which would be awesome. Everything is awesome. Totally do. Just looking at other parts I can paint on this thing. So give that a little touch. You know, I've used for these pipes and corrugated stuff here, corrugated or tubing. I'm actually just using the Corvus Black Air variety because it goes on really easily and it gets the effect that I'm looking for. So again, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Quite good coverage as well for, let's say, it's air paint, but it's like where you'd get Duncan going, oh, don't make sure to too thin coats and all that sort of stuff, or water down your paints. Sorry, that is to me watered down. So just paint straight on. I was looking at what else I can actually just paint on this to try and add a little bit more or a little bit less or a little bit something. That was something. So we'll do. The one made by Bandai was way more expensive, but the quality shows. The McFarlane ones are nice. I'm repainting one too, but more reasonable at £25. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a nice little sort of thing to have. You know, especially if you're painting it up. Well, yeah, Louise Sugden, where she done the ultramarine, like the work she done on that. Again, you would expect it because she's a pretty damn fine painter. But yeah, it was really looking quite cool and groovy, and like all the chipping on the armour that she did, and you just look at it and just go wow. And that's what you want, that wow factor in the chapter of your choice. But so the one that Gonda's done, the Legion of the Damned one, is just fantastic. So good. Ooh. And with this Retributor Gold, I will go over that with Agrax to tone it back down. You don't want it too light. Right, that's it. I'm going to have to tie my hair back. was just getting in my face. And the air paints are straight out of the pot, water them down more, and you have a wash. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, dude. Alright then, Bruce. Cheers, dude. Thanks for dropping in, and enjoy your exploits with your templars, dude. I look forward to seeing you again soon. How ship those artisans of all play armor isn't amazing. Not sure. I think I've seen it. Not sure if I have though. The thing you see so much stuff nowadays. You just don't know where you've seen it, and oh yeah, no, I've seen that, and yeah. So just keep up to track with everything. What's going on in the world of hobby? Did any of you guys get your kill team stuff today? I did consider it, but it's another game I've not. I bought loads of stuff of the other old kill team, and I've never played it. So it's like it's that maturing moment as an adult when you realise, yeah, maybe I shouldn't buy something if I'm not going to be using it. There's no point. It's a waste of money. I might as well invest it in stuff that I do want in Titans. You didn't get. I'm surprised. I would have thought you'd been going for that, Phil, especially for the orcs. You do like an orc. I'm surprised. What's the mature thing you speak of? I don't actually know, to be fair. I've gone on record before saying that I am, despite my age, my aging, my vast amount of years, I still feel that I am actually like a 19-year-old kid, just in really tatty, weathered packaging. And that's the thing, you just feel that you can do all the stuff you could do when you were 20 until your body tells you, no, you can't. It's not possible. Stop what you are doing. It is silly. So it's actually quite nice to actually, when you go back to a model that you may have done work on before and not quite done all the details, because you keep on seeing bits and going, I'll do that bit next, and just add a little bit there, add a little bit here. You say there's just a little bit of contrast. and just make something else stand out and look a little bit cooler. That's the theory. So just making that bit there. I've got to do this around the edge here and try and get into, so let's give it more height to actually see what I'm doing. So, see that? And so it's just picking out those little bits of detail here and there that really do make the model pop. Just gently caress the brush. Let's go around here. All these little bits just to make it stand out a little bit better. So it is quite satisfying as well when you actually think, you know what, if I spent that little bit extra time beforehand, one, I wouldn't be doing it now, but yeah, it does give more, but just those little bits and pieces that you sometimes just overlook. Oops, whoopsie doodle. So I'm using this contrast technique as well. I'll say just using this contrast paint. It's not a technique, it is a paint. Does make it a lot more straightforward. And doesn't leave things looking all samey, which we don't really want, do we? A little switch colour there. Same this side. I do like orcs, and someone has given me theirs. Oh, fair enough. I need to go back and strip them and repaint. Yeah. Yeah, let's say you want it all looking uniform, don't you? You come up with a new sort of scheme or a new technique and work that into models. It's like what the other week where I was repainting my Legio Ignatum, because when I was doing the War Master for them here, and we sort of, well, between myself and you guys in a chat, decided we'd use a different technique using Magos purple over lead belcher, and the colour just looked a little bit better to what I was hoping for. So that's why I ended up repainting all my Ignatum engines in the same way. And sometimes you say using like thinner paints, like washes even, can just alter the look of something. So you don't always have to use layer paints or base paints. you can get a real good effect just using, say, contrast or washes. So just a little scoot around with it as well. But it does give some nice contrast to everything. Every so often my back sounds like a row of dominoes getting knocked over. Nasty. Right, Agrax, come to the fore. I do like getting messy with Agrax. I visited a new KT box, same as Lee. Bought the last edition, never played it. Yeah. It all looked cool. Like I bought obviously the rules. I bought some expansion bits. Some bits have still got a wrapping on, you know, and like cards or dice and measuring implements or whatever they did. But yeah, never played it. The only things I did do was I got the Thousand Sun kill team. So I built and painted that, and that's it. Nothing else. So yes, it does look interesting. Yes, it does sound quite fun. Obviously, we can only go by feedback, and you know, I've heard lots of positive feedback on it. Even like with the new sort of measuring system they've got with all the symbols to differentiate it from other game systems and the like. But I'm not going to get to play it. Not when I want to be playing AT. So yes, the Krieg models look cool, and yes, the Orcs looked cool as well. But no, there's no point in going for it for me. Never played the last system, so I doubt that's going to change. Yeah, well, with the added bits and pieces we've done to this, I'm actually quite happy with that. Right, I'm going to give some Agrax down that main corridor, and that'll be it, I think. Just let that dry. That will do, pick. That will do. Anyone have tips on painting Legio Volpa? Ooh, plan to do them after my storm. I haven't found any good tutorials online. I did paint a dead Volpa engine But I didn't at the time. I didn't really sort of go for it. There was one thing I did think of, because obviously it's that sort of meaty sort of look to it. Now I would probably go with see, like with the purple, I'd probably go with like the Xerxes purple, perhaps. I'd really need to look into it. And then do a lighter purple stippling, and then wash it with something just to sort of tie it together. And the same with the sort of red, probably like Golver Brack red, I think. I had that out the other day. Hold on a sec. Where are you? I know you're here. That's wood. Yeah, I'd go probably with Golver Brack. And then you want to sort of like a shade lighter for stippling, and then maybe like a 50-50 Agrax or something to wash over it to sort of merge it so it has the marbling look, but the wash, the shade will help sort of bind it and not make it as obvious. But yeah, I'd just say I'd have to sort of have a look in for it for your mecha and see. But yeah, Golver Brack's quite a nice sort of dark colour to start with as a base for the sort of the readiness, because it's not really a red, is it? It is like a mature bloody steak sort of colour they've got with that. So yeah, I would use the Golver Brack as your base for the red, and I said probably I think the Xerxes. It's the one that's off the top of my head. But as I said, I'll definitely have to sort of double check on that for you, mate. Are you on my Discord, or are you on? I know you're on Maximal Fire Team, aren't you? Yeah, I also have a very small Discord. You know, it was Felix's idea. Yeah, aged meat. That's it. Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, oh, this is a 21-day matured rotten steak. Right. Yes. I'll do this because this has been needed to be done for ages. Yeah, no, I only set it up the other, I think, well, week and a half ago. Well, it was after not last week's, maybe the week before. Can't remember. But yeah, it was brought up in the chat that some of the guys said, "Oh, well, let's have a Forge of Mars Discord." So I thought, okay. So I just put one together. So there's only a few members in there. I haven't really gone around promoting it because it is purely for, like, you know, everyone in here really. Just you know, keep up to date with hobby and all that sort of thing. So obviously a few more members never hurt. I'll put a link in the description or in the chat or something. Don't know if you actually do links in this thing. But yeah, it's just a small little thing. As I say, it's just for you guys to, you know, a safe environment for us to hobby in. Friendly, you know, easygoing, laid back, chilled. So yeah. I'll sort something out. I'll post something somewhere when I think of where I can post it. I'll see if I can actually just put it into the chat. So bear with. And I'll sort that out. Where are we? Yeah, it's only been recently. So that's sort of it. Where are we? There we are. Let's see if this works. There you go. It looks like it works. So that's the link to the Discord. If you want to join in, that's more than welcome. As I said, there's only a few of us in there because it's only really for the group here. But more than welcome, dude. It's a bit quieter compared to Maximal. But yeah, it's peaceful, serene. Just do as little as or as much as you want. Yeah, and I see you just joined us. Welcome. But yeah, it's just going to be little bits until I get under control with what I'm actually doing and that. But yeah. Woohoo! I'm getting good at this technical stuff. It's very good. Very good. You grabbed some paint? How dare you! Oh, dude, you found one. And you did buy it, didn't you? You did get it. Tell me you got it, Felix. These were made for me by Matt Wingrove, who's like the chief of the Titan Owners Club, like a head honcho, for the last walk that was in 2019. And so all my Titans have these. And obviously I've got the chain, some sort of brass rod for holding the banners up. But yeah, he's such a great he's like a little resource, that bless him, that boy. And he does some awesome work. He actually took all the images from like the artwork from I think like it was Neil Roberts' pictures, where you see Ignatum kill banner underneath one of the warlords in the artwork for Burden of Loyalty, and basically managed to knock these together. So yeah, the kid has got skills. Because he likes to have, you know, for these Titan walks, have things looking really cool, and having kill banners is really cool. There was obviously last time as well. We actually done like big versions of these that you could buy. So it's like you had to order them with him, and he'd get them printed on like material. and they've recently done like kill tokens that you can, like they're pins basically, like you know, badge pins sort of thing. So you got gold ones for warlords, and then silver for everything else basically, because the warlords are the big kahuna ones. So on my big version of this, which has Chosen of Mars on it, because that's my mana pool name, and obviously I pinned on the kill tokens onto the actual board. But yeah, it's awesome, really is awesome, and it's just a nice touch that he did, and it just adds more character to the Titan. That's all in scale, you know. Excellent stuff. My brain wanted to say, you've just cleaned up 8 more Titans and have tons backlogs. You don't need any more. But my heart went, oh, Precept, I'm having you. It would do. Yeah, you can't help yourself, can you? I lucked out when I ordered one from GW the week before they went out of stock. Oh, that is close, dude. That's like Indiana Jones rolling underneath the dropping door and grabbing the hat. That's that level. Yeah, no. So I know they've done those little things. Obviously, I think I did have some small ones, because he done some like miniaturized versions as well, but it's making them and putting them onto the actual Titan, so it was a little bit more fiddly on the smaller scale. I know they've done those. They made, or someone done those 3D printed sort of ones, which are, yeah, they're all cool. These, you know, the old paper ones. That's the old school way of doing things. That's the first one I've ever seen in store on this side of the pond. I had ordered a few of them online since I knew they were eventually going out of stock, but still find another one, get it. Yeah, no, I'm trying to think. I'm not sure. What I'll do, in the Discord, I'll post up a picture of the kill banner when I go in later on. But he's basically like that. It must be about 3 foot long, maybe a bit longer. It's quite big, and it's on this like wooden bar, and he had these like little plastic chains, because what you would do is you'd attach it, because he does these like little cork boards where you stick your Titans command consoles onto them, and you use pins to track the damage and stuff, and in such a way you could actually hang the plastic chains onto the end, so you would be standing there with your truck, with your board with all your Titans on, with the kill banner hanging down from it. It's really quite cool. So yeah, there's if you go to the Titan Owners Club page, for if you just Google Titans Owners Club Walk 2019, it will take you to the link to where all the pictures from the walk are, and you'll see so many awesome looking Titans. But you'll see some of the guys standing there with their so it's like a tray, their cork boards with the banners hanging off of them. The banners are just so sweet. They cost, well, I say a couple of years ago, it cost us like 30 quid for them, but as a little memento of the event and to record all your kills, because all your kills go onto your kill banner. Rush. Right. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with what I've done with that so far. So that's been going, what's that? Hour and 40 minutes we've been working on the big guy. So let's move him, he says, tentatively. Right, let's disarm him. Now I suppose I'll do some little bits extra on this one, on the volcano. Let's put that there. Right, what do I want to do? Right. Guns off. Yeah, because these things weigh about 7 to 8 kilograms. So they're weighty. So when I move this, I'm literally holding it under its arse like this. Well, actually, there's some bits there I can do. So I'll do them before anything else. Let's put them out of the way. Head roll. This is Tacit Venatrix, the Silent Huntress. They chipped up to buggery. Candace's weapons. Right, so this is, I'll show you in a second once I get it all sorted. Right. So this is Tacit Venatrix, armed with Vulcan Megabolter and Turbo Laser. She was the biggest killer for me in the Titan Walk. Done a hell of a lot of damage. This one here, you can see with its feet, because that leg should have been for that side, that one should have been for this side, and when I had done it, I actually had to put weights in the Titan to actually hold it in place, so it wouldn't tumble over. Like so. So, Donna Magna, which is grants greatness. It grants greatness. No, you're right. It's not that. Hey, Crimson. Hey, dude. Nice to see you, man. Yeah, it's the you got to have a Vulcan on a Warhound just to strip those shields, because that's what they're there for. So yeah, because originally my first one I got 2 turbo lasers, which was Latin to be known as the how to make friends combination, because everyone was turning up to Horus Heresy games with Warhounds with twin turbo laser and just basically just de-weaponing their way through everybody's armies. But and as Rob will know, the plastic for doing the eyes. So again, I could do something about their colours. Let's into the compartment with the servitors. So I don't really do, let's say, because you don't really do much with them. So, but yeah, they're used and abused, chipped and what have you. But yeah, they're gorgeous little monsters, and again, kill banners, tacit penetrix, Donna Magna. So I just hook them round. The main difference between the two, obviously apart from well, magnetized weapons anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But tacit has the cabling on there. I didn't do it on these ones, and I can't find what I'd done with the parts, so I've never bothered trying to find them again. So it's all right. It looks okay. Heads don't come off. That's the main thing. Plasma blast gun in the how I used to paint plasma blast guns with the bluey glow to the plasma weapon. But you can see how it's not that stable. And compared to Tacit, she's very stable. But Donna Magna, not so much. So, yeah. As I said, I used to fill out the back quarters of it with you know, like when you get magnets, you get the like the bigger magnets, you get like these metal chunks between them. So I was sticking all these metal chunks in the back just so it would stay back. But I say it does the job. It walks around. Well, he doesn't walk around, but he doesn't fall over. That's the main part. You don't want these just tipping over. But yeah, so they're all good. Yeah, it's just so annoying I did that, and because I used, as I said, that mix with the bicarbonate of soda with the super glue. Yeah, I'd absolutely have to butcher trying to get that apart, and there's no point in doing that. It's just going to absolutely ruin it. So yeah, there's only so much you can do with them, but you know, so they're actually not too bad. I'm quite happy with these guys. They are like, you know, the smallest, but I like how when I've done the weathering on the actual things, how because I scrubbed a little bit too hard, so that took some of the paint off. But yeah, it just works. So. Put you down there. And go back to doing some legwork. Some pipes on. Don't not to stay properly, and not to be all that blurriness. Just do this quickly then, and get on with that. You did one with the yellow and one with red. Helps you differentiate them, I suppose. Headed back to work. Hopefully, I'll catch you on the winter. Yeah. No, I'm not actually on Artist Empire stream this week because I have my kids are going away on holiday on the Thursday, so I've had to swap my days round so I can see them before they disappear. So I won't be on. I've already told Scott, so he knows. So I won't be on this Wednesday, unfortunately, mate. So I might pop into the chat and say hello, but that's going to be my participation for this week, unfortunately, dude. But I'm sure I'll catch you again at some other juncture. Well, thank you for joining us anyway, Crimson. Always nice to see you and hear my name being shouted across the chat room. Ross. So it's cabling here. A little once over. Gives us a spray of varnish as well later. All going exactly to plan, he says. Yeah, so as I said, after the incident where I kicked the crap out of this thing, I'm just super surprised that I've not, touched wood, had any other incidents with it, and it has been structurally secure in every way possible since. So that's always good. And I do say, obviously, if you break your leg, it does heal back stronger. So the leg was literally hanging off. So that's one thing I won't do again in a hurry. That's terrible. I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be wishing it on anyone either. Just picking out some of the pipes, giving them a little bit of a Balthazar gold. I don't like metallics to be too shiny. And again, with Balthazar gold, it does give you the sort of different look that you want to stand out for pipes in particular from the like darkened steel of the superstructure, but not too stand outy. You know, if that is even a word, stand outy. Get Need little bits done. As I had a friend actually message me earlier on today saying there's somebody selling a Warlord on eBay. And I was like, well, that's nice to know. I'm not buying one. I'm happy with the one I've got. And if I was ever to get another 40k Titan, it would be another Reaver. So technically I would have a full maniple of Axiom maniple, which, you know, it's handy. We all like to have complete sets of stuff. But yeah, that's trying to paint this thing. Right. Yeah, quick neck on this. Let's go through that. Right, yes, so that's 28mm, one Warlord, one Reaver, 2 Hounds. Yes. Yeah. So the first one was Iracundus, which I bought, and I had that for a while before even trying to build it. And then after I built it, I was quite overwhelmed by the model, and because I had such I wanted it to be perfect, and at the time I don't think I could have done it justice, and I got quite sort of, well, kind of depressed over it, to be honest with you, because it was such an important model. Because I always liked the Reaver Titan model from AT, so I wanted to get it and do it justice. But at the time, I didn't have the skill set. You know, building it was hard enough. And I started painting it and got the colours down. And from where I sort of scouted around online and saw different sort of Ignatum engines and all that, and I just could not replicate other people's work, and mine was looking crap. I'll be honest with you, it weren't the greatest. And luckily, as some of you already know, because I've said this story before, my friend Chris Booth had just started a commission painting service, and I sent him a message saying, Chris, do you paint big models? And he said, what you got? And I sent him a picture of Iracundus, and he just said, give it to me. And I did, and he painted Iracundus as people know him as, with the flames and everything. So he basically went over what I'd done and enhanced it quite considerably, and it looked very rad and very different from the normal Firewasps, because he was sort of mixing it with the sort of older styles, and yeah, he went and did it. And as I say, when I first saw pictures of what he'd done, like especially with the bloody get my words out, the control cockpit, I literally cried in joy, because it just looked amazing. And I can actually show you that. So I get this bit done, because the head is just 3 feet away in the box of delights over there. I'll do this last pipe in Balthazar. And this is where Iracundus' head lives. So the face, when I post up Iracundus approves, that's the face that approves. But yeah, so you've done really nice work painting this thing, like Tamiya clear red, which apparently is very tasty, but it was like all that sort of detail, and the gauges, the targets on the actual thing as well, little symbols on the guy's arms. Princeps, control panels. Yeah, so when this came over to me, so this is just, I did weep. To say, just like to see like all these little bits here, the little targeting bits, little dots and everything. I say, it's just so cool. And it's like how he done this, obviously the metal as well. Just say like it's just like edge highlighting, but still it just, the lenses. Hey Hallam, how you doing, dude? Yeah, it's yeah. So yeah, he does look different to the rest of my stuff, because obviously I've painted the rest of these. So yes, they're going to look a little bit different, because you can't replicate another person's painting skill. There's no way I could have ever replicated what Chris done with that. And let's say I would never put paint onto it. You know, he was the last person to the paint Iracundus, and that's it. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need touching up. You know, he's just like a legend in his own right. Yeah, he's what get. I free-handed the traditional Firewasp symbol and all the little script work he's done on there. Let's say the flames. So the stripes are still the stripes that I actually done. So, but obviously he like aged it, weathered it, done whatever he could with it. See if you can see into there. So again, it did. So his lights in here is not that great actually. Yeah, it's a bit better. So the control panel and the servitor is wired in. So in here is where, when I put the speaker into it, it sits in there. And you got that little dude. Hey dude. Who operates the APOC launcher. Gosh. Right, it's just all this, all that stuff freehand was just fantabulous. Doing good. I had a bit of time to hobby today, army list writing, and ordered some solar auxilia for my project I've trained. Cool. Titan makes me want to get better at painting and get 28-meter Reaver. Yeah, I still want to get better at painting. So I did try and replicate this look with my AT version. Now the AT version is different to 28mm version because I didn't do the rear in stripes, because I just thought that's a lot of stripes. It's got obviously the red parts here, but yeah, it's a lot of stripes because you've got it on its leg greaves as well and one of its knees, so it's a lot of stripes for even a Firewasp. So part of the weapons it has are red, and like the top section with the APOC launcher. Yes. Yeah, he's done such a great job with this thing. So yeah. Let's put him back. Let's focus on what I'm doing, Lee. All these Titans out everywhere. That's bloody like. Hold on. All that. Titans on the floor everywhere. Honestly, you can't do anything nowadays. Keep on tripping over Titans. All I wanted after my Reaver was a Warbringer. Now I have a Reaver, 2 Hounds, and a Warlord. Still no Warbie. Yeah, Tanya Clear Red. I said the guys at Maximal Fire. I went onto their had a sort of a hobby hangout on Discord the other day. I popped in, and they was discussing which paint tastes the best. So yeah, that was an interesting conversation to walk into. What the hell are you talking about? Yes. Right. Let's go back, finish. Is there anything else I wanted to do with this one, really? Yeah, so pretty much. Wait. So apart from those, there's a bit there I need to just touch up. And yet Lee still needs more Titans. We're talking big ones, yeah. But you know, as I said, I'd over. Something like over a Reaver or a Warby. I would purely go for the Reaver for the fact that then it's a full mana pool, Axiom mana pool. Or I can always just deploy them. If we're doing like AT rules, I can always deploy them as a what do you call it? The oh, geez, I can't get my words out. Venator. I do like a Venator mana pool, or even a Ferox. Old school titillating pink tasted like Angel Delight. Did it? Honestly, did it feel? So if you're mentioning it tastes like Angel Delight, then people are going to start hunting down titillating pink again and say like, oh, I've got to have this as a dessert, and just go crazy with it on. Hello there, Tom. How you doing, man? Did you have an accident or something earlier on today, mate? What could possibly go wrong with a sprained wrist trying to get a tent up? Well, I've seen enough carry-on movies to know a lot can go wrong, dude. Everything can go wrong. So much wrongness. Fell off a ladder about 10 foot, lucky not to break him. Yeah, well, I say one of my other friends I saw on Facebook earlier today, where he's been quiet, is because he basically fell about 10 foot, where he jumped over a wall, not realising how far the drop was on the other side, He looks like he's had to have pins and all that in his ankle, which obviously shattered under the impact of the drop of his. So yeah, it's 10 feet is deadly in some cases. Funnily enough, he's the second person I know who's done exactly the same thing. Different friend group. It's a former manager of mine who used to get quite leery with the old alcohol, and he did the same thing. Jumped over a wall thinking it was like the same height the other side, but it was a 10-foot drop, and snagged his leg. So it took him ages to sort of relearn, because he really did bugger out. Not my mate Ben today, but well, I don't know when he done it actually, because he's been basically not going on social media to show, oh look, I broke my leg. So yeah, you've got to be careful. You've got to know what you're jumping into. It can be deadly, and that's not ever good. So let's be careful when we're drunk, people. I'll put the paints over that side because I did have Warlord Titan standing there, but now I'm not. So we get some varnish onto the little nubbing there. A little nubbing, there's lens. That'll do, pig, that'll do. I fell on a tabletop side and an engineer's voice. Jeez, you're crazy, dude. You're just trying to like deliberately hurt yourself. So that actually reminded me when I was in secondary school. I went to try and break my arm by falling off of a fence, or actually it was a gate, because I wanted to get out because I hadn't done my maths homework. Pressure at school. I since learned that if you haven't done it, you got to take the telling off and the punishment, whatever it might have been. But yeah, it was that bad. I was only like 12, I think. But I just thought, no, I need an excuse, and you couldn't just say like, I haven't got a dog. I can't say a dog ate it, and I thought, oh no, I'll fall off here and break my arm. Yeah, we're stupid. So I don't recommend that. If you don't do your homework, or if you don't do something, just face the music. You're not going to get killed. You're not going to be sent to hell. So yeah, just face it and apologise and try to do better. Yeah, because breaking your arm just to try and get out of homework. What was I thinking? I don't know. No. I can't figure it out. Right. So yes. So I'm happy with that. Nice and dirty, as they should be. Be in the middle of a battlefield, they're not going to be pristine and clean. So volcano. Yeah. That's pretty much everything I wanted to do tonight, actually, to get done. That wasn't your finest moment, huh? Anyway, best get on with it. See you in the next one. This looked like it would make me jealous anyway. Yeah, so just before you go, Tom, next week is the Titan Owners Club walk weekend. Now, I'm only going to be there on the Saturday, but obviously if I'm going to be there on the Saturday, I'm going to be driving when I would normally be on here. So I'm not going to be doing a hobby stream in the evening. I'm going to actually look and speak with the guys to see if it's okay to actually maybe do a little bit of a stream during the event. So, see the Titans and all that sort of thing, because I think that will be quite interesting, because we get all the Titans out before doing a game anyway, put them out on display for photographs and stuff. So I'm sure I might be able to persuade a few people to actually let me do that, just a little live stream, chat with some of the guys there, ask them questions, little profiles of the Princeps maybe, and then just go from there really. So yeah, I'll update on Discord and Twitter and wherever else I put information about what's happening next Saturday. But yeah, all cool. So you have fun with your camping, and I hope your wrist holds out. Yeah, I'll send some messages out. Should be okay, because it's going to help them out as well, hopefully. But yeah, that'll be cool. Well, take it easy, dude. Wherever your Weymouth time. Weymouth's lovely, by the way. I loved it down there. And go down and see, what was it, Portland Bill? Avoid the prison up on the rock. Nice. Yes. Right. Okay. Is there anything else actually? No. Right. No. Yeah. I think that, to be honest, I think that's probably going to be it, because I've got nothing else I can see that I really need to do. As I say, there was just a few bits of touching up to do on the heads and stuff today. So that's been done. So it's only been on for this will be actually the shortest one ever, I think. Because as I say, I've got nothing else here I can actually start painting, because I haven't built any Titans. Oh, just remember, as I said earlier on, I'm not going to be on Artist Empire this Wednesday because parent duties, because my kids go away for a few days, so I've got to swap my days round to see them off and do the daddy stuff. But just to forewarn you there, this Wednesday is actually the 3rd anniversary of the release of Adeptus Titanicus. So I'll be posting up, I've managed to take some photographs of all my mana pools together, so in their entirety, and I was going to do a little sort of like collage of all 101 Titans on one thing, and then I'll probably post up the other ones individually anyway. So this is a little celebration for 3 years anniversary of Adeptus Titanicus, because we all love Adeptus Titanicus, we all love Titans, and it's a special occasion. So that's this Wednesday. So just bear in mind. But as I say, I'll be posting that up into obviously Discord and social media, obviously AT18 and stuff, Instagram. Yeah. So you have been warned that I'll be proliferating most of social media. Not TikTok, because I don't do TikTok. Me on TikTok, that'd be no. I'd do something stupid on that. I probably just wouldn't understand it. It confuses me. It's funny in places, but yeah. Alright, but yes, so I think I'm going to call that it for tonight. I'm sorry about that. That's it's a shorter one. It's the shortest one yet. Longest one being 5.5 hours. This is the shortest at 2.5 hours almost. But I'd just like to thank you all again for joining me, and if you don't mind liking, if you are subscribed, or press buttons of notifications and all that sort of stuff. Not that I post a lot of updates or anything. It's all regular Saturday night. I will try to get some more how-to videos done as well, though. So yeah, I'm going to try to do some like little experiments, colour schemes, and obviously show some of the other ones that I haven't shown before, and get them up onto the channel. So for future references or inspiration, that's something else people can use. Yes, mate, definitely. I'm driving up on the Saturday morning, so it shouldn't take more than 2 hours, probably about an hour and a half, to be honest, on a Saturday morning, if I leave early enough. I've got to speak with Matt, see what time the actual kicking off. So if it's 9, yeah, I'll be up there, and yeah, we'll get some photographs. Obviously, engine. I take it you're going to be on my flank again, Phil. So yeah, so everyone have a great weekend. I hope you have lots of hobby exploits, or camping for Tom. As I said, I won't see you on Wednesday on Artist Empire, but don't stop you from tuning into Artist Empire for his paint overs. And hopefully see you next Saturday during the day with some live streaming from Chiton Nova, which is the battleground where we do our walks for the second battle of Chiton Nova. Those pesky traitors are trying to take the city and the forge and all its resources, but those plucky loyalists are holding out yet again. Their resolution is strong, and they are determined. And yeah, hopefully the loyalists will be triumphant yet again. Fingers crossed. I have faith in the Omnissiah and the Emperor. So until then, and any time during the week on social media and all that, I will bid you adieu for now, but I'll see you around, and I hope you all have a good weekend and a good week until we meet again. So take it easy, guys and girls.